Hey, you're the newest member of the GUNTALK After Show Club. Yeah, you're already a member since you downloaded the After Show, and that means you're serious about shooting, safety, and gun-related issues. Man, if you come to the right place, you're among friends and like-minded people here. Hey, if you're on hold, stay there, because Tom is coming back to the microphone. And during the After Show, you can take your time and really dig into those issues. So once again, here's Tom Gresham, our show producer Jim Kinsey, Michael, and Michelle.
Stand back. It's the After Show.
Dun, dun, dun,
Tom
dun,
here
dun.
with dun, 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 dun. Where's my theme music? I should have After Show theme music. This is so disappointing. Come on, you can do it. Did you brought your kazoo, didn't you? We got Jim and Michelle and Michael.
No, we don't have Michael today.
We don't have Michael today. Michael's not here today.
He's under the proverbial weather. But that's okay. You know why?
Why?
Because he misses out on gift day here at GUNTALK After Show.
The goodies are here, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now you know what it is. I know what it is, but Michelle does not.
Right, because we're just rotten like that.
Yeah, we are. We're just those kind of people. So, okay. So, Jim, set this up. What do you have there? What have you done?
Here's what have you done, Jim?
What have you done, Jim?
I received a FedEx notice, so I ran to my local FedEx place and picked up a package that we have from one of our new sponsors. I'm not even going to say the sponsor's name yet because that'll blow it for Michelle. I just want to get her all geeked up. It's really cool. She really needs it, and I think it's just cool because it's the most thorough comp package I've ever seen. It's you know how we get stuff from manufacturers all the time. We check stuff out and we report in on it, etc. This is the most.
What you need is another hat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got a box of holsters.
Field tested.
Yeah,
used holsters. This is the most thorough package I've ever received from any manufacturer for review.
Oh.
It's awesome. And with that,
all right. So, and with that, Michelle is allowed now on the air, opening it up.
All right, here we go.
We're ripping and tearing.
Drum roll. My drum roll's lousy.
It's paper.
Yay, paper!
It's paper!
It's
Yay!
like my kid at Christmas.
Is that like the one year anniversary? Is a paper anniversary? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All kinds of goodies.
Hold it up to the microphone.
See it? And it's green. No.
It's green. What is it?
It is a package from Slip 2000.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's all kinds of cleaning goodies in here.
She's still digging. Okay, so Slip 2000 is a new sponsor, actually sponsor of the After Show, which we appreciate. It keeps this thing going. They make all sorts of different lubricants and rust preventive stuff and gun cleaning stuff. It's like real high tech, but it doesn't smell nasty like a lot of the other stuff does.
That's a plus.
You know, the first time I heard about Slip 2000, Jim, you were actually here. When you were down here and we were shooting with the guys from Vada, and those guys can rock ARs like nobody's business because, I mean, that's what they do. Right. And I was asking them, you know, what do you guys use? And they said, oh, we use Slip 2000. And at the time, I had never heard of it. I said, really? What is that? I said, no. I said, with an AR, you want it to run, you just get out the Slip 2000 and use a lot of it. Don't be bashful about it. So, Michelle, what do you have?
Well, it seems, and that's one of the things that caught my eye right away, is there is some items in here, especially for the AR. So we have AR cleaning system with some carbon killer, which I understand is a great item to use. And then just a couple of different types of products. Ultimate cleaning system, lube and cleaners included in there, technical airsoft lubricants, technical cleaning systems for extreme weapon lubricant and cleaner, and pure synthetic metal treatment, it says. All right.
Yeah, the
awesome.
ELW, the Slip 2000 ELW is kind of like the end-all and be-all for gun lubes. So that's just really thought of as... And it's funny because they have... I'm trying to think. They have like two different kinds. It's like is it the ELW and then like the super-duper one? And they say, look, you know, it all works great. Just use the one you want.
Yeah, I mean, there's a high-end one. It's like, how can you get better than the first one?
Yeah, that's right. But then again, you know, if you were in a situation where you said, okay, I have to go run through 1,000 rounds today, and I don't want to have to stop and, you know, take it apart and lube it, then you might go with that. So,
Extreme condition kind of thing. I never knew you had to lube your chokes.
Oh,
There's
really?
choke lube.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. When we were at the range this week, we've got a gun that Ryan brought out, and we were really glad that we had a wrench for it. But these chokes had never been lubed, and it was a bear. I mean, because we had to use the wrench for the entire time. Usually you just break it loose with a wrench, and you can just unscrew them. No. So, yes, you should absolutely be using lube on your choke tubes.
See the things I learned?
All because of a great little box.
Did your kit come with a choke tube lubricant?
Yes, it did.
Most certainly did.
Yeah, shotgun cleaning system, ultimate tactical system, extreme cleaning system, all kinds of goodies to try out.
This is great, Tom. The visual here is tremendous, Tom, because you were talking, she's kind of nodding her head like, yeah, whatever. She's digging through the box. It was great.
One has to know what to give their husband to use on their firearm.
Hey, you got Father's Day coming up. You don't have to say anything to him.
Okay, look in there. Did they include any of the extreme weapons grease in there? Because they have a grease, both in a jar and like a syringe-looking thing.
I have an extreme weapon lubricant.
Okay, you got an ELW. Don't know if they included it in there, but they also have a grease. And it's funny because I've been reading a couple of people whose work I appreciate and I think they know what they're talking about. And they really like using grease on certain parts of their semi-autos, like on the rails, the parts that really get a lot of, high-speed friction.
And
so they said rather than oil, they're going to grease. So that's going to be a question when we get the Slip 2000 people on. We're going to ask them, the never-ending question, oil or grease, which you like, and when do you choose one versus the other?
Right, and yes, there is one. EWG Extreme Weapons Grease. Yep.
Extreme Weapons Grease.
It's there.
Yes. Cool stuff.
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize that with some of the rails of the firearms that you actually have to try to keep friction down, and that the grease, I think they always get a oozy thought in their mind when you talk about grease, something that just kind of goes everywhere. And I understand that these different types of greases do not.
Well, and the thing is, with the good grease, you only need a drop or two, or like a little dollop. I don't know if you get a drop out of grease, but like a little bead of it, because it goes a long way. You don't have to goop it up. I got to your point, Michelle, of you don't have to make your gun messy.
Right. Yeah. It reduces, I know what the point of it is, to reduce the friction, to reduce the wear, but and a lot of them don't, and it says, especially on this one, that it does not attract dirt. So that's always a good thing, too. No dust or dirt.
Especially with an AR.
Yeah.
Tom, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Why don't you check your phone? We can't do this on the radio, but we can do this on the after show. Do you have your phone with you?
Oh, I do.
I sent you something you might appreciate. It's Christmas here at GUNTALK.
No, I'm sorry. I have you blocked.
Smart man. It only took you 20 years to figure that out.
There's Michelle opening the box. I got the picture. And let's see.
She's focused.
You've got your headset on with the music going, so you don't have to pay any attention to us. I like that. That's smart. And you've got like a box of gun cleaning goodies. Holy cow. You're doing the whole gun geeky thing going on over there.
Wait, I still have them. I don't want to make too much noise, but I want to read them.
So you're pulling out packaging and you got paper going everywhere. You're going, shh.
Oh, yeah. The studio's trashed.
You got stuff all over the floor.
It's like Christmas, you know?
You got to throw the
stuff
paper.
everywhere.
That's right.
Well, our friends at Slip 2000, I said, look, can you send a care package to the production guys? They said, sure. And I didn't know what they're going to send, like, just a tube or something. And then Jim says, you're not going to believe all the stuff they sent.
You know what I thought? I thought they sent it for the entire crew, the one box. And I'm like, this has got to be for everybody. This can't be just for me. And then I said, well, I can go through Hooper's box and take half of his stuff. He won't know.
He'll have to buy guns.
That's what happens when you don't show up, man.
Yeah, they gave us here.
Sure hope he doesn't listen to the show.
Speaking
man.
of Slip 2000, why don't we play their spot here ever so commercially? Play their spot and come back and chat.
Okay, let's do.
EWL by Slip 2000 is the absolute best gun lube available, period. It will never gum up or become sticky. It won't attract dust, dirt, or sand, and doesn't freeze in cold weather. It penetrates and bonds with a metal reducing friction and wear, which means less cleaning and easier cleaning. Why not try it? Visit our participating dealer for a free sample or go to slip2000.com. That's slip2000.com.
All right, and there you go. The folks who are bringing you the after show and also sending in the cool stuff here. Oh, I forgot. You know what? They'll actually send everybody free stuff. Did you know that?
No.
Everybody.
Wow.
They will send you samples of Slip 2000 stuff. You go to their website, slip2000.com, and it's slip2000.com. Okay. And there's a right at the very top up there.
Oh, yeah.
It says request a sample of Slip 2000 EWL. That's Extreme Weapons Lube. Click on that, and there is a sample request form. You fill it in, and they will send it to you for free.
That's a bad form for you to do that, Michelle. You just got a care package, and she's filling out the
greedy. She's and now she's using all of her various email addresses. More,
35 Facebook personalities.
I want more. Yeah. And where it says, how did you hear about Slip 2000? Be sure to go down to where it says radio. So there you go. And then you could also, that's kind of cool. So yeah, everybody can get free stuff. We're in favor of free. Cool. We like that. Their whole deal is, it's real simple. And I met with the guys, met them at SHOT Show, and they said, look, our thing is very simple. We're not really good at marketing. We just know the stuff works. So we know if we can get it into somebody's hands and they actually try it, they're going to want it and they're going to stay with it. I said, okay, well, what we'll do is, we'll help you get the word out. That's what we do. And I mean, we can't move product that doesn't work. You know what I mean? If people try it and they say, it's nothing special, that's not going to do anything. They said, no. If you try it, you're going to want to keep using it because it's going to work like nothing you've ever seen before. Said, okay, cool, we'll try it.
Right. So part 2 next week, we're going to have to report back into you. Here's what we've done.
We'll have to go make some guns dirty first.
Yeah, that was a good.
Ooh, fun stuff. I tell you what, you will also get a care package from me of dirty guns.
No, I heard you couldn't.
You have to get them back to me,
Yeah, but I heard you couldn't even fill up your Suburban, or didn't have enough room in your Suburban, rather.
It was insane. I'm talking about with the back seats. Okay, first of all, when I get a Suburban, the first thing I do is I take out the third row of seats and put them in storage, and they never go back in. So that's the way I run Suburban. Now, for this week, we also flipped forward the middle seats, so there's only 2 people in this, and it is full to the roof of stuff. I mean, it's just ammo from everybody. We've got SIG ammo, Black Hills, Double Tap, Nosler ammo in there, shotguns, rifles, pistols, and then, of course, we got targets and a few cameras and other stuff in there. It's just crazy.
I'd like to be the fly on the windshield when the state trooper pulls you over. You got any guns? How much time you got?
No. So I wanted to say, do you have a gun there? No. He did say singular gun. I've actually had that thought. I thought, if I get stopped somewhere and they say, you have any guns? I go, yeah, where are they? Everywhere. I mean, no. I actually have a friend of mine who owns a gun store. He got stopped like that coming back from a gun show. And the guy says, do you have any guns? He says, yeah. He says, what do you got? Where are they? He said, well, they're in the back. I said, well, what do you got? I said, well, I got a Browning. I got a Winchester. And the trooper says, sir, I asked you a serious question. Said, yeah, I know. He said, and like 5 minutes later, on the side of the road, both of them are there, and they're opening all the guns out, and the guy's going, cool. And the policeman's going, oh, this is neat, man.
Sweet. As it should be.
That's right, exactly.
That's awesome.
That is cool. Well, that'll be fun. You guys can play with this stuff and let us know what you think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's fun when you work with people and they go, look, we believe in this. They're not new to this. This has been out for a while. And then we had also the endorsement from our buds over at the Nevada Group, and that's what they use. And so I said, okay,
that alone.
If they use it, and they go over to the sandy places and they shoot a lot of guns, and that's what they like. I said, okay, that works for me. All right, I want to switch and talk just for a second about I mentioned the fitted shotgun before. I think it's one of the least appreciated areas of shooting is the benefit you get from having a shotgun stock fitted to you. And I know that's probably way less than 5% of people who shoot shotguns ever have it done. The difference is, when you go over to England, no one would think of getting a shotgun without having it fitted to you. It'd be like saying, I'm just going to go buy a suit off the rack and not try it on. I'm not going to have it altered. I'm not going to have the sleeves taken up, nothing. Just however it comes, that's what I'm going to use. And I'll just kind of like hold my arms up shorter. I'm going to hunch my shoulder up to make it all fit right. Once you've got it fitted to you, you just put the gun to your shoulder, and it sounds crazy. I know how it sounds. It's like magic. You just look down the barrel and go, wow. So it will make you a better shot. It just flat will make you a better shot with a shotgun.
When they use the term bending the stock, is it physically bending it, or are they shaving it, or... I mean, they're wood stock.
They can do both. There are several different ways that people do it, but they actually do bend the stock. They put it in a clamp and in a vise.
Is there any heat or anything involved?
Some of them use heat lamps on them. Some have used hot oil pouring over the wood stock. Doesn't work real well in synthetics, I just got to tell you. So, it's kind of like, all you do is make it a big old mushy mess of plastic if you do that. Don't do that. But now some shotguns like... help me out here, Michelle. I think the Benellis and some others, even though the semi-autos, have shims that you can put in that will kind of kick the cast at the left and right or the height of the comb up and down, so you can do kind of a quasi-adjustment.
Exactly. When people come into the stores, or our store at least, and they're looking at shotguns and they're looking for a shotgun, with their grandchild or child or spouse, as it may be, that's one of the things that we discuss as well, because it can either knock your teeth loose, not literally.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. I didn't even mention that. But the way it fits you can really affect how the recoil feels.
Absolutely. And if you get something that is measured, and obviously if you're going to be shooting something that requires a jacket, take your jacket with you, or, whatever components are that you're going to be using, because it has to be fit to that scenario. And, something that works in the field with skeet shooting might not work in the field for hunting. And so that's something that you have to look at as well. But when they're cut to you, they're cut to your pull length. They're, completely refinished. The stock gets cut, new recoil pads get put on, and you can get into such nice, well-absorbing for recoil pads that...
the recoil pads,
You spend a little bit of money on a really good recoil pad. It makes all the difference in the world. And just like when we talk about shooting on handguns, it makes all the difference to stay out there in the field and do it.
A stock that fits you also will not be smacking you in the cheek. You know how if you go out and you shoot for a while and you go, man, my cheek's really sore. If the shotgun stock is fitted to you, it won't do that. It just won't smack you in the face at all. 30 years ago, you would have a hard time finding somebody in the U.S. who could do shotgun fitting for you. Now, in England, it's common. It's everywhere where they have shotgun shooting. But with the advent of sporting clays, the popularity of sporting clays, there are gun fitters everywhere, because in that game, at least it used to be, I wish it were still, you shot from a low gun position. So when you mounted the gun up, it had to fit correctly. There's no like putting it on your shoulder and then working your eye around. If you have to shoot quickly, you don't have time to do that stuff. So when a duck or a pheasant or a quail comes, flying by real fast, you just mount the gun and shoot. If the gun fits you, you're probably going to hit it. That's that. I mean, it's a big deal.
Have you ever grabbed one off the shelf and it did work?
No, because I shoot left-handed, and they either are straight, and here's the thing: there's cast on and cast off, which means they've been in the stock left or right.
Right.
A lot of the guns now come with a little cast off, which is set up for a right-handed shooter, which means if you're looking from the rear of the gun, the stock is bent to the right a little bit. So that way when you shoulder the gun on your right shoulder, your eye, the stock is moved over a little bit, so your eye is lined up right behind the barrel. It looks down. Well, imagine if you put that on your left shoulder. You're looking down the side of the barrel.
Right.
It's awful. Didn't you go up, Jim, and see Brian Belinsky? He's one of the best shotgun fitters in the country. They call him Dr. Shotgun. So but that's who I had fit me. and he's got my measurements now. Now, by the way, if you lose a lot of weight or gain weight, it throws off your measurements on your shotgun.
Yep, that makes sense.
Do you use adjustable combs, Tom?
I don't. I tried one time, but the stock was so far off that I had to have so much adjustment on the comb, it didn't work well. But, in fact, it's funny you mention that because I recently had somebody say, you really need to look at those again because those are pretty sweet.
Well, the reason I asked that is when my son was interested in trap shooting, he was quite young at the time. That was something that we invested in. Of course, we do gunsmithing in-house, but we put an adjustable comb in there, and of course we made it so the back could be adjusted out as far as length for him, and he just kind of grew with that shotgun. And I think if you can do it, I think it's probably a great way to adapt a shotgun if you're not too concerned about the looks of the stock necessarily, to allow a woman or child, to get into the shotgunning aspect and just completely adjust it and further customize it to them.
Well, anybody who's interested in it can find a gun fitter, and a lot of them will have a tri-gun, and it's a shotgun with all these adjustments on the stock, and they'll tweak it and move things over and bend it and have it go up and down, left and right, and get it all adjusted, and you're shooting, and then you try it, and when you shoot, you're going, it shoots exactly where I look. No matter what I do, I don't have to even look down the barrel. It just shoots where I look. So there you go. That's that deal. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else we did this week. It was just...
I'm looking forward to getting my GT20 fitted.
Yes, that's right. What you do is you have a leather holster, soak your holster in water, and then shove the gun down there and let it form around it. Now you'll have a rusty gun at the end of that. Yeah, that'd be great.
You won't have a rusty gun if you use Slip 2000.
There you go.
Nice, yeah.
Kind of work that in.
Or stick your gun into a baggie, a little plastic bag. You know what? That's a point we ought to talk about for a second. Storing your guns. People store their guns in soft cases. Bad idea. You want air to be able to move around your gun. And soft cases with fleece will actually absorb moisture and hold moisture in there. So that's not a great way to store guns. So, yeah, and a safe is not bad because there's air around it as long as you've got the dehumidifier things going in there. That's funny. When we had Mike McNett here this week, we were talking about rust on guns. And where he lives, they get like 5 or 6 inches of rain a year in Utah. And I said, well, we get that in an afternoon. So, he never, ever has rust on guns. And I said, we're always fighting rust on guns. I have to take them out of the safe on a regular basis and just wipe all the guns down, even though they're in the safe with all the rust preventative stuff in there.
It's a way you spend movie night at home. Go to Redbox, get a movie, clean a few guns. But then you're distracted.
Well, that's usually what I do. I have the babysitter come over, and I don't actually have any small kids. I just say, look, there's the safe. Just if you would, clean all of those and wipe them all down for me.
You break it down per hour, you got a hell of a deal.
That's true. What do you pay for babysitters these days anyway?
Wow, $5-10 an hour now per kid.
Yeah, right. $5, you're not going to get you one, I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you had a little kid, too.
I just don't have babysitters. So
what guns you going to try cleaning first? What's on your agenda?
I don't know. I all mine are currently clean. What do I want to shoot first? I'll probably take my .45 out first.
Yeah, at the very least, just wipe down your carry gun.
I could do that, yes. Yeah.
We're moving into the warm part of the season, and carry guns just get wet from sweat if you're carrying them in a belt. And you really, and this is me talking to me, really need to unload it and wipe it down every single night. I have a tendency to just take it off and not wipe it down at the end of the day.
Well, I told you one time I was cleaning my gun, and it was in a holster, and I hadn't cleaned it in like 2 months. Took it out, decided to clean it because I hadn't shot it, hadn't cleaned it, just figured it'd be smart to do. It was terrible. Right. It never left the holster. It was terrible.
No. It's got gunk and
lint and
bird's nest and everything else in there.
Well, I think that's a great point. Nobody ever thinks about how much lint and stuff can be trapped down on the inside of that. So, yeah, great opportunity to take everything out and get it clean. I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want my husband to start giving me his.
Oh, he says, "Oh, you got gun cleaning stuff. Here, let me provide you something that you can work on here."
No, I just
It's
have
all
one.
my dirty guns.
I just have one tiny little bottle. They just gave me this big box.
That's right. That's right. Don't show him all the stuff. Just show him the little bitty sample tube there. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
I call that a reverse Huck Finn. You clean the gun, now
There you
everybody's
go.
bringing them to you.
Oh, man. All righty. Well, folks can get their free samples from Slip 2000. Go to the slip2000.com. That's pretty neat. Try some of that other stuff that they have there. They have I like the carbon killer. That's one of the issues with AR-15s. Using carbon killer is really going to help with that.
That'll be the first one I clean.
AR-15 bolt. Oh, it also, I'm looking at their website, revolver cylinders, it says, and firing pins. Pour the carbon killer into a small glass or steel tray and place carboned parts inside. Generally, I just kind of like to have a big tub of gun cleaner and throw all the stuff in there and just leave for a while.
55-gallon
That doesn't
drum.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
But
Cool.
silencers.
Or a washing machine.
Yeah.
Get an old washing machine, just throw them all in there.
It talks about using it with your suppressors and silencers and all kinds of stuff there. So,
That's a thought.
yeah.
We don't talk about that, but silencers get so dirty because you're pushing all that gas through them. And some silencers are made to shoot wet. Are you familiar with that? There's some shoot dry and some shoot wet, and you actually pour water into them. Well, let me tell you, when you shoot a wet suppressor, it's like flinging dirty water on your face. That stuff sprays everywhere, and you got all that. You know how dirty a gun is after a while, all that soot and everything.
Right.
Now mix that with water and then just kind of spritz it everywhere. It's lovely.
Take your word for that.
It's lovely. I was at the SIG Academy. They were showing me the new silencers. Then I got a whole line of silencers. I was shooting it wet, and I was shooting it, and I'm thinking, that's just weird. It feels weird. And they say, yeah, look at yourself. You got this stuff all over you. Going, man, it's nasty. I mean, it works, but it's nasty.
Yeah, well, we've had suppressor relaxation and 1 week of relatively decent gun laws now in Ohio, and no blood has run in the streets.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. So what kind of changes did they make in your law?
8-hour class instead of 12, right?
Right.
Michelle, you probably know more about this than me. Go for it.
No, go right ahead.
Suppressors now, you don't need the LEO to sign off on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a shall issue on suppressors.
Yes, you don't need the you don't need the sign off, and you don't need to have a trust either. Not that the trust still might not be a bad idea, but you don't have to do it that way.
But that's usually we use the trust to get around the chief law enforcement officer who won't sign off on it is arbitrary.
Right.
So now you don't need that sign off.
Right.
That is very
now there's still an advantage of the trust if you were to pass away, and now you got a bunch of Class 3 stuff, and who does it go to? They'd have to apply for it.
Hey, if I'm dead, I don't care. I don't care what happens after that. I'm gone. Heck with all you people.
Sweet.
Well, and
I'm a very carry individual here.
that's me. Okay,
Well,
all about
hunting
me.
is the other thing. You can hunt with a suppressor now.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that's a big deal to me. I mean, I'm not a hunter, but I mean, that sounds like a big deal to me because it just seems smart.
Well, for one thing, it's just from hearing safety, just your health.
Occasionally, you'll get the anti-gun folks that are saying, "Oh, suppressors, that's even worse. It'll turn these gun nuts into psychos and da-da-da-da-da." Do you honestly think, just like a carry permit, do you think a criminal is going to go through all the hoops? He's going to make a suppressor in his garage and go shoot somebody. He's not going to go through all the
Why do you
hoops.
think? Okay, somebody who wants to shoot somebody is not going to do it because he didn't have the paperwork on it.
Right.
I'm sorry, sir. You do not have a permit for murder. Oh, okay.
Oh, but I applied. It never got back to me yet. This is crazy.
I think one of the big deals that came out of that, too, is that we have an increase in the reciprocity states for carry as well.
Every state. We recognize everyone's permit. You get a permit in any state. It's valid in Ohio.
Okay.
And now, not necessarily the other way around.
Right. But that opens the door for Ohio permits being good in more states.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, the 8 hours we cover that 8 hours instead of 12,
Right.
which is more reasonable because I don't know anybody that doesn't have the fundamentals down after a couple hours even.
Well, and the other thing is it changes it from having to devote 2 days to it to being able to go in on a Saturday and do the whole thing.
Right.
And that would be a real game changer for a lot of people, too.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of increase we get or if there is an increase in Ohio. with those
Right.
changes going in. So stay tuned. We'll find out. I'm sure
There you go.
the media will release numbers. I'm sure of it.
Sure. We'll have to track it ourselves.
We'll get John involved, and he can keep it all straight for us.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave you to your gun cleaning. So, first you have to go out and make some dirty guns, and now you can use all of your cool stuff.
Yes.
Sweet.
Thank you very much to Slip 2000 for that.
Absolutely.
There's Step 2000. Yeah, they're very nice people. I really enjoyed getting to know them at the SHOT Show, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun getting to chat with them. We'll get them on the show, and we'll talk a little bit about these different products and what they do. And yeah, that's always the thing is, okay, which one do I use for what? And is there a particular way how to use it? So we'll get into some of that stuff too.
Sweet. All right.
All righty. Well, you guys have a good week.
Likewise, my friend, and we'll do some cleaning. We'll report back to you.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care, Tom.
See you, buddy.
Hey, we appreciate you listening to the Gun Talk After Show. Be sure and tell your friends, and remember, everything Gun Talk is available 24/7 at guntalk.com. Be sure and join Tom, Jim, Michelle, and Michael for another Gun Talk After Show next week right here.